Feeling good today? TGI Friday? Okay, just wait a minute for a few more people to arrive. And just angle this. So make sure you've got some water or something to drink, because it's very important to stay hydrated. So yeah, we'll just give it one more minute whilst we wait for people. I'll just say today's, or this week's song for the sing-along is Let It Be. So if you need to get the lyrics, you could do that now to save time later. But we'll just get started, and then people can join in. Hi Simon. And then people can join in when they feel like it. Okay, so as usual, we're going to stand hip distance apart. We're going to find, if we don't know how to do that, we're going to find our hip bones and point our fingers down on our hip bones. And then our big toe wants to be just underneath where our finger's pointing. And we're going to have loose knees, which means they're not locked straight. So if you need to have them slightly bent, that's absolutely fine. And we're just going to twist from our hips and allow our arms to just sort of flop round. And what this does is it partly just starts to get the blood pumping around our bodies a little bit to warm us up. And it kind of you can probably feel like, my back and shoulders are creaking a bit. It's just a sort of gentle way to kind of warm everything up, really. So nice loose knees, very good, and shake it out. So this week we are focusing, the specific body part we're focusing on is our neck. I'm going to try and go through all different body parts because everybody holds tension in a different place, and so we want to just try and find some exercises that will sort out every specific place. So this week we're focusing on our neck, so we're going to just look down, center, back, center, down, center, back, center, down, center, back, center, and straight through without stopping. We want it all to be nice and smooth. We don't want there to be any jerky movements. Very good, and come back to the center. Now we're going to look to the right, center, left, center. Yeah, somebody's just said that their neck's usually very tight too. It's a very common place to hold tension. Left, center. So again, not jerkily, just nice and smooth, but stopping in the middle. Center, left, center, and just straight through. And come back to the center, and now we're going to tilt right, center, left, center, right, center, center, and straight through. Very good, and come back to the center and drop your head down, and we're just going to roll. And back the other way. And back the other way. And one more time, back the other way. And back to the center. Very good. Shake it all out. Okay, we're going to do, because it's Friday, we're going to do, this actually feels really nice. So what we're going to do, we're going to grab hold of the back of our neck. I don't know if you can see that there, like with our hands. And then we're just going to move our neck around. And so what this is like, if somebody was massaging your neck, then there's, you know, it's hard to get the, it's kind of like a reverse massage or something. So you're just gonna clamp the neck, you're just gonna hold those muscles, and then by moving your head around is how you're gonna be sort of massaging the neck. So you're kind of in control of how, if you're with somebody else, you can get them to hold your neck and you move it and then swap over. It's just a good way, instead of like somebody else massaging it, or, you know, if you're sort of doing it yourself, you're moving your shoulder, you know, it could be uncomfortable if you don't have someone else around to massage you. So it's just a way of doing a massage without actually having to. If you can get both hands on, that's good. And then you're just in control of how it gets massaged. And you can clamp as tightly or as loosely as you like. I think that's quite a good exercise to get rid of some of the tension. Okay, and shake it out when you're ready. So another exercise we regularly do, I'll just talk you through it as we'll start it and then I'll talk you through it in case anyone is new. So we're just going to be pushing the air out of our lungs with our diaphragm, and then we're going to relax, drop the diaphragm, and the air is just going to suck back in. So you can start doing that now, and as I'm explaining why. So basically, normally people think, oh, you know, to breathe, you breathe in, you breathe out, you breathe in. What I want you to try and do is just concentrate on breathing out, and then instead of breathing in, you're just going to relax, drop your diaphragm, and the air's going to come flooding back in on its own. So your diaphragm is a muscle that sits underneath your rib cage here, and that's going to push up, and it's going to squeeze all the air out of your lungs, and you're just going to relax, and the air's going to just come flooding back in. So we're just going to bend our knees and straighten them. Not too straight, we don't want them locked straight as discussed before. And so we're just going to breathe, but in this way, where we're pushing the air out and relaxing and allowing the air to flood back in. We're going to add some arm movements that are going to reflect that. So when we bring our arms up like this, that's when we breathe out, because that's our diaphragm pushing the air out. And then when we breathe in, or relax and drop the diaphragm and just allow the air to flood back in, we're going to bring our arms up, and that represents the diaphragm dropping and the rib cage expanding as our lungs fill with air. So we're going to just get into a nice little rhythm with bending and straightening our legs, and we're going to breathe out and in and out and relax and drop that diaphragm. To the side. Very good, and shake it out. Okay, so now we are going to get into a comfortable position. We're either going to stand with our feet hip distance apart, knees slightly bent, string coming out of the top of our head as if we're a marionette puppet, and that's holding our whole spine in place. If somebody let go of the string, we just crumple to the floor. But we're going to be nice and straight. Or if you prefer to sit down, that's absolutely fine. You're still going to have the puppet string coming out of your head, still trying to stay nice and straight, nice relaxed legs. Don't hold your legs together, don't cross your legs because it twists your spine. Just have your feet on the floor, kind of hip distance apart as well, sitting on your, nicely on your bum. It's a nice inbuilt cushion. And we're just going to be nice and relaxed. We're going to find a spot on the wall, or ideally, if you're able to look in the mirror, that's perfect. You can look into your own eyes. And it's very good as well, because then as all your bad habits sort of creep in, you can try and relax them and correct them slightly. So we're just going to breathe, and we're going to really focus. If you're able to, in your mind's eye, envisage your diaphragm pushing the air out of your lungs, pushing up, and then we're going to hold it. So we're going to squeeze all the air out of our lungs, and when you think you've done that, try and push a little bit more, because there's usually a little bit more left. If you need to use your hands to just squeeze, that's fine too, just like on your bottom ribs, just to give your diaphragm a little bit of help. Then you're going to hold that when you've got no air left, and then you're going to just relax. The diaphragm's going to drop and the air's going to flood back in. So we're going to push the air out, all the way out, bit more, bit more, bit more, bit more, bit more, then hold it, then relax, drop, and allow the air to flood back in. Don't worry about doing it in the same timing as either me, or if you're in the room with somebody else. You know, we've all got different lung capacities, it's not a competition. Go at your own pace, and yeah, that's it. Oh yeah, and just be careful, you know, we are stretching, so it shouldn't feel super comfortable because we're stretching, but at the same time, you've got to know your own body. If it hurts or feels weird, or you know, you get lightheaded or anything, then just either stop or take it a bit easier. But if you can, try and push yourself. So and again, you know, I want you to be thinking constantly about your posture and how relaxed your muscles are. If, you know, we don't want any muscles to be working that don't need to be working. And if you are looking in the mirror and you notice anything sort of looking a bit, your hand tensing, try and just relax it. You know, if your shoulder creeps up, try and just relax it. Sometimes it's really hard to relax. If you're so used to having a certain incorrect posture, obviously that then feels more comfortable to you. So then if you are able to put your body in the correct posture, that feels very uncomfortable and you think, hang on, this doesn't feel very relaxed. But you will get used to it, as long as it doesn't hurt. I mean, I actually I don't know what I did, I strained my shoulder, you know, years ago when I was first trying to do it, because I was so used to having this tension and I kind of forced it down, and I actually sort of was in pain for a few weeks just because I had sort of forced it. So we don't want to force anything. So even if you're looking at yourself, and say if it's your shoulders like me, say even if your shoulder is that you're still a little bit wonky, don't worry, you know, just work on relaxing it. We'll do some shoulder work as well in the next few weeks, you know, or whatever part of your body it is. Just try and be a bit more relaxed than you were each time, and gradually you'll get used to it. So it does help to look in the mirror, because sometimes we don't know what it's supposed to feel like, but we can see, you know, it feels straight, but it's actually wonky or something like this. So, you know, if you can look in a mirror, that helps. And just in your normal life, even outside of these sessions, you know, just try and be aware. Okay, so we're going to continue what we're doing, but we're going to now switch to, let's do a zzz sound, a zzz. So, same principle, pushing the air out. When you get to the end, hold it, then relax, drop, the air floods back in. In your own time, when you get to the end of whatever breath you're on, we're just going to switch to a zzz. Don't try and hold any breath back because you think it will make your breath last longer. Just whilst you're pushing, just try and push all the air out. And then when you get to the end, hold it, and then just relax. And you know, over time, even the sort of portion of time that you're doing the exercise, hopefully your lungs will sort of wake up, your diaphragm gets a bit stronger, and you know, everything gets warmed up, and you will hold it a bit longer anyway. But it, you know, it's not a competition, and just go your own pace and do what you do. Okay, let's just shake it out. And now let's just switch to, let's do an R. So when you're ready, get comfortable, make sure you're in a nice relaxed position, empty your lungs of air before you start so that you can just relax and suck the air back in rather than taking in a breath. So we want a nice relaxed jaw for the nice open ah. Any note you like. Okay, so come to the end of the breath that you're on in your own time when you're ready. And so now we're going to do an exercise where we're going to be in control and choosing whatever notes and sounds we're going to make. We want to try and use as much of our voice as we can, from the lowest registers all the way up to the highest registers. And obviously for every individual person, that's going to be a slightly different thing. We're going to try and use our whole face, like all the different mouth shapes and hums and that we can. And if you want to walk around a little bit, that's good too, because it kind of keeps you from just staying still in the same position, which can also cause a bit of tension. So in your own time, you start. I'll demonstrate as well. It feels a bit silly sometimes, but it's worth doing. And yours will be completely different to mine. You do you, but it will be something like, if you have no idea what I'm talking about, it will be something like this. Ooh. And all the while that you're doing this, I still want you to be using your diaphragm, pushing the air, and then when you get to the end, in fact, try and hold it again at the end when you get to the end a little bit, but then relax, drop the diaphragm, and the air just floods back in. Okay, very good. Come to the end of whatever breath you're on, and then when you're ready, just shake it out. Okay, so now we're going to get back into our comfortable position. So whether you're sitting or standing, that's absolutely fine. Find your spot, so your eye level, string coming out of your head, shoulders nice and relaxed and down, feet hip distance apart, or if you're sitting, just don't cross your legs, knees nice and loose and bent. And we're just going to close our eyes, and we're going to just breathe normally. You can breathe through your nose or your mouth, or whatever's more comfortable for you right now. But as you're breathing, I want you to try and envisage in your mind's eye your diaphragm pushing the air out of your lungs, and then relaxing and dropping, and the air floods back into your lungs, and then you push it out. So the muscular part is the breathing out, where you're pushing with your diaphragm to get the air out, and then you're just relaxing, and the air just floods back in. So you don't deliberately take a breath in, you just relax, and the air will come back in on its own. And you're just going to breathe and breathe, and you're going to try and picture it. If you're squeamish about envisaging your own body parts, some people don't like that, you can think of your lungs as being balloons, or I had it with me the other day. I had these bellows for a fire. If you know what that is, it's quite an old-fashioned thing now, but whatever helps you to just kind of try and, or maybe if you just feel it within your body, but whatever helps you to just be trying to push the air out and then relax and just invite the air back in, just allow it in. We're just going to breathe. And whilst we're breathing now, I want you to just try and listen very carefully to any noises you can hear outside the room that you're in. It might be the leaves in the trees, it might be a car driving by, it might be completely silent, but any sounds that you can hear outside of the room that you're in is what I want you to listen to. Good. Now I want you to continue pushing the air out of your lungs with your diaphragm, and relaxing, dropping your diaphragm, allowing the air to flood back in. And now I want you to take a little step closer and just listen to all the sounds inside the room you're in. So it could be a clock ticking, it might be your cat walking around, anything you can hear inside the room that you're in. And even if it's completely silent, then you're going to just listen to that silence, and all the while pushing the air out of your lungs using your diaphragm, and then relaxing, dropping the diaphragm, and the air floods back in. lungs with our diaphragm and relaxing, dropping the diaphragm and allowing the air to flow back in. And this time we're going to take another step closer, and we're just going to listen to all the sounds that our own bodies are making. So you're just going to listen to your own self. Maybe you can hear yourself breathing, maybe you can hear your heartbeat, maybe you're completely silent, but then you're going to listen to the silence, and all the while you're going to just breathe, push the air out of your lungs using your diaphragm, then relaxing, dropping the diaphragm and allowing the air to flood back in. Those three things together. So we're still going to be pushing the air out of our lungs using our diaphragm and relaxing and dropping and allowing the air to flood back in. But now we're going to listen to our own bodies, the room that we're in, and the world beyond, and just feel our connection to the space that we're in, all just through our breathing, pushing the air out of our lungs with our diaphragm, then relaxing, dropping the diaphragm and allowing the air to flood back in. nice big yawn and a stretch. Very good, and shake it out. So we're going to end the session as usual with a little sing-along. This week's song is Let It Be by the Beatles. I do have the lyrics in a link in the description, so I'll just give you a sec to open that in a new tab if you need the lyrics. I've got a few links in there. I know everyone hates talking about this kind of thing, but there is a link to my PayPal. So I'm a busker, so you know I do everything for tips. I want you to know that it means a lot to me, you just being here and enjoying the session. So please don't feel obligated. Obviously, if you can spare anything, that would be great. But everybody is welcome to my sessions. So as long as you're getting something out of it and enjoying it, that's awesome. If you want to support me in another way, you can subscribe or tell a friend if you think you know anybody that might enjoy these sessions. But you know, whatever works for you is good for me. Okay, hopefully you've got the lyrics now, so I'll play a little intro. And whilst we're singing, I want you to be kind of thinking about the whole breathing and pushing out the air as you're singing, and then just allowing the air to flood back in when you relax your diaphragm and everything sucks back in. So let's start. Find myself in times of trouble, Mother Mary comes to me, speaking words of wisdom, let it be. And in my hour of darkness, she is standing right in front of me, speaking words of wisdom, let it be. And let it be. Whisper words of wisdom, let it be. And when the broken-hearted people living in the world agree, there will be an answer, let it be. For though they may be parted, there is still a chance that they will see. There will be wake up to the sound of music, Mother Mary comes to me, speaking words of wisdom, let it be. Now let it be, let it be, let it be, let it be. There will be an answer, let it be. Now let it be. Thank you very much, everybody. I will be back next week, Monday to Friday, 11 AM Greenwich Mean Time. So have a wonderful weekend, and hopefully I will see you again soon. Bye.